Hey guys, got a new Leatherman Rebar, kind of an early Christmas present, and wanted to finally do a review on it. I've been carrying this straight for, probably since late November, and I want to talk about it, also show you kind of a neat belt sheath I got for it, and we're going to do, not your typical tabletop review here, guys, because a lot of these Leathermans, they're kind of all the same, it's the same set of tools and all that, so we're not going to go over in excruciating details every little tool, so we're just going to kind of butterfly it open, show it to you real quick, and talk about it, because I think the real thing about the rebar is the value, what you're getting for the money compared to the other Leatherman and multi-tools out there. So real quick, we're going to zip this thing open, show you how it works. Start with the tip, just the tip, just like your mom likes. It's got the removable 154 cm cutters. Really nice lockup on the pliers. It's got the finer tip and also the widened area for holding bigger nuts. Just like your mom. And yeah, I could do that all day, guys. You have the liner lock here, works with this spring mechanism. Ruler on the body. Serrated blade. Can opener. And yep, these are tough to get out, guys. Like many multi-tools, they take a long time to break in. You have the 3D Phillips head, which is actually one of my favorite things. I really like that 3D Phillips head. And the saw. Hasn't seen a ton of use, but I did bring it out and cut a few branches with it just to make sure everything was honky with it. You can see they click into place. There's still blade play, but how that works. Other side, you got the main blade. We'll pull that out so you can actually see it. 420 HG steel. Already sharpened it a couple times. Use that quite a bit. Your file, all the losing my brains here. Flathead screwdrivers and all that fun stuff. Little lanyard loop in there. So we'll close that out. And of course, they have the same liner lock. You can see that locks that into place. They're wiggly but serviceable. They're a little tight too. So these things, Leathermans, take a long time to break in. At least everyone I've ever had. So this is still in that period where it's going to need another 6-8 months before this thing's loosey goosey. So what I picked up for this is this little stamped metal belt sheath, and there's a guy on eBay who sells these, and I found it just by looking up like Leatherman Rebar sheath, and it came up. He makes them for probably about 6 or 8 different multi-tools. They're not horrible for the money, like $20. Little spring steel clip, pretty decent retention. Only complaint I have, the edges up here are kind of pointed. These will dig into your side meat if you have any. So that is one thing to note. But yeah, this thing just slides right in. Ooh, let's use the other hand here, guys. So you can see that slides in, semi-protected, and kind of has that tab on the bottom to keep it falling through. Okay retention. You could definitely force it out, but it's not enough where it's going to fall out while you're holding it, or on your belt. Even if you were to fall over a trip, it's not going to fall out. You'd have to really shake this thing. Gives you kind of quick access to it. And actually, to be honest, where this came from is actually Adam Savage from Mythbusters. He has that tested show, and he actually showed how to make one of these, and I'm assuming the person who makes them kind of copied that, where he pretty much did the same thing. He just took I think actually he used aluminum and just kind of rolled it and turned it to fit his multi-tool, and it actually works pretty good. Aside from it being kind of clunky and sharp on the corners, it's not bad. You could probably file that down and hit it up with some black spray paint and make it a little more comfortable. It also fits well in the pocket. You can actually slide this into your pocket and it'll hold it right there for you, and you can literally just kind of reach in and grab it. So there's that. We'll get that out of the way. So that's a neat little accessory for you. Alright, I pocket carried this a lot of the time because I wanted to see just how it's going to pocket and all that. And it's pretty heavy, guys. This is a pretty big, pretty heavy multi-tool. It's You're definitely going to notice it in a pocket. You're going to notice it on your belt. It's pretty big and heavy. But every multi-tool is. That's, kind of what you sign up for when you carry a multi-tool. Now, the real beauty of this thing is in the value. You can get this multi-tool for $45, $50. I know a lot of places sell it for 60, 70, or 80, but in reality, you can get it for 45. Now, when you look at the whole spectrum of multi-tools out there, even your cheapest multi-tools like the Sidekick and the Wingman, well, we're not going to talk about, the garbage ones you get at like Walmart and all that, but from the reputable brands, Gerber, Leatherman, SOG, and all that, you're looking, there's a couple in that $20 to $30 price range like the Sidekick and the Wingman, which aren't bad. They're really good values, and they're pretty good, but, in the end, you get what you pay for with quality. It's just a rule in life. So then you take a step up into those $40, $50 multi-tools. Now for Leatherman, you're typically going to get the smaller tools like the Juice, the P4, the PS4, things like that. They're in that $40, $50 price range. I think the PS4 is a lot cheaper now, but I think when they first came out, they were like $39, if I remember right. But typically you're going to get your smaller multi-tools or things like your low-end SOGs, which if you've ever held one, guys, those $40 SOGs are, they're nothing on this. You're getting way more. And, price equivalent, and you're talking, the Gerber MP600, very similar price to this. You can get those for $40. But in the end, I think when you look and compare them, this has better tools, better quality tools, and they're set up better. The MP600 has got some weird setup where like the blade is on, it's kind of in the way, and there's a lot of weird things going on with that. I like it. I use it a lot, actually. It's one of the ones I typically take backpacking with me. But this here, just has a little more to it. Tools are better. It's kind of easier to use. All around, I think it's a great value. I think if you're going to spend that $40, $50, it's between this and that Gerber MP600. And then I think what it boils down to with then is you get better quality tools with this. So, with that said, your next step up, you're getting into the $70 and $80 multi-tools. And, we would all love to afford a Leatherman Wave, but we all can't. I think this is, a good alternative to the Wave for people who want to save a couple of bucks, who don't care about how accessible the tools are and all that. For me, guys, a multi-tool doesn't need to be tactical. It needs to be functional. So I don't care if I can get the knife out. I don't care if it's one-handed. I don't care about any of that. A multi-tool is just that to me, a tool. It's not a tactical device. So I get really frustrated with the market because it kind of goes towards those one-hand opening, blades on the outside, tools on the outside. It's not necessary, guys. And in the end, this $45, I'm completely happy with this setup because I feel like I just don't need it. And whenever I carry a multi-tool, I carry a blade anyway, so it's not like I'm going to go to that for the blade unless I have it out and I'm actually using it and then need the blade. But, it's just how I am. Even with the Sidekick, that one, the blade's accessible from the outside. And, it really, I tend to go for my pocket knife first because it's just a better tool. So, overall, it's a great tool, guys. It's a great price. I think when you look at everything, you look at all the multi-tools out there, if you got $50 to spend, this is the best multi-tool you're going to get for $50. And that's why I like it. That's why I got it. I kind of asked for it as an early gift because of that. So I do. I try to gear towards those things that are great value and are best at price. And I think this is definitely one, that is. It's top of the price market. It's not top of the line, because there's better multi-tools out there. But in that price range, under 50, this is the king as far as I'm concerned.